Go.
We're good? We're good? All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 163 of Let's Talk Koi. I'm Sean, the Koi Guy. Welcome to Koi Market. It is supposed to rain today. It's supposed to actually pour today. But as usual, the weathermen are wrong. We were supposed to start at 6 o'clock this morning. It's now 11 o'clock. Forgot my watch. And it's not that it's sunny out, but it's kind of not so good out. But come on outside. Don't get anything on my right this today.
The feed's coming through really choppy. Someone just made a comment about it, and I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. Turn on the music.
Where's that over there? How does it charge up? No, because I have a battery backup.
Oh, it looks like it's deeper now.
Was it? Oh, now we get downstairs. That's good. Actually. Oh.
Probably about the piece and I heard it something to show.
Picture looks good though, right? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? There's no double sound.
Someone just called.
Oh, see, he looks good over here to me. It sounds. I'm getting it fine. Oh, see, he looks good over here. I mean, we've had amazing aquatic plants come in. Our customers have been super happy with the aquatic plants. The fish we got in this year are the best we've ever had. Oh, and I must say, please like, subscribe, and turn on your in case you guys get notified when we're doing a show. Come on inside. Not working? Wow, it's really delayed too. Super delayed. Huh? Not working at all. All right, let's. All right. Let's see if hanging out over here changes anything.
And if you can use the other microphone that's over there.
Use the other microphone? This?
No, that's for your ear.
All right. So
Guys, do me a favor. Tell me if this is any better.
Let me know if
that works for you. Got to get the screen out of there. Screen's in the way. So, yeah. We'll just move it out. Man, we really need to practice with this new set. All right. So, welcome to our new set. So, this is an area that we'll be using for a couple of different things. We're going to be using this area to show off new products. Sorry, we have a little bit of an echo. We'll be using this area to show off new product, to do interviews, to evaluate new product. We have some cool ideas about looking at new product to evaluate for the show. We can also bring friends that are watching a show from around the country, around the world really, onto the show at the same time, which would be pretty cool. We haven't tried it yet, but it's something we're planning on doing. Is everything working better now? It's a little clearer, Michael? Is it better? So if I move here, it's okay? Can I go like that? All right. Okay. So I'm being told I have to stay in one place. So what we were discussing before, we were talking about the new fountain bowls from Aquascape, the 60-inch fountain bowls, which I absolutely love. That would definitely be a product that would be difficult to put up here. But we built this as a set that allows us to have multiple people on the show at one time. We're very excited to utilize it. So stay tuned. Bonnie, what day are we doing the evening show? Did you want to talk about that? We have a special show coming up. Did you want to talk about that?
Sure. Can you hear me? Okay.
He can hear you. I can hear you because
Okay.
you're talking.
Am I in the picture now? Okay.
Okay.
All
So, guys, this is Bonnie.
Hi,
Hi.
Bonnie. How's
Hi.
it going?
Good.
So Bonnie has a couple of big things that are happening here that she's working on. And you want to tell us a little about that?
Sure. So June is our biggest month here at Koi Market, and we're trying
is.
to put together some really great things in honor of Father's Day. It's a special holiday, and it's also the busiest time here at Koi Market. So we are going to be doing a couple of things. One is we're doing a customer appreciation event on June 26th.
Very excited about that.
I am too. I am too. So I don't know how many of you guys live nearby. Where's everybody? Where is everybody that's on this? Where are you guys calling in from? Put a note in the chat and let me know how far you are. Because if there was ever a group of customers that we wanted to appreciate, it's you guys.
Do we have a date for that yet?
June 26th.
Okay. So June 26th, we are doing an awesome customer appreciation event. Is that at
It is at
nighttime, or-
night, and we are going to have the pond all lit up. It's gorgeous at night. You guys have probably never seen it. It's beautiful, and we're going to have drinks
Rachel.
and food, music, and lots of fun stuff, giveaways and stuff. And it's just going to be a really fun night. So please, please try and come if you're close enough. Or if you just want to take a trip to Long Island in the summer, it's a beautiful place to come. So
Cool.
that's a big thing. And we're also running an exciting new auction for celebrating Father's Day. And we're going to be discounting a deep discount on all of our big guys. And we're not sure what we're calling this yet. We've thought about like the Big Daddy sale.
I think that's a good name.
Well, yeah, because Sean sometimes gets the nickname of Big Daddy.
Yeah, don't say that too loud. Anyway, yes, we are going to do the Big Daddy Father's Day event koi auction. We're pretty excited about that. And do we have a date for that?
That is Wednesday, the 11th. And that is going to be an evening show. And it's going to be here on our new set, which we are gradually trying to transition over to. But we will be giving away great prices on the big guys.
I'm pretty excited about that. We have a bunch of people that are jumping in saying where they're from, Maryland and Michigan. Well, listen, I do know that some of you guys are far away. And Vicky, I don't think you're coming from Colorado. I'm not going to say no if you said, hey, please allow me to come. I would say you're so welcome. Please come. But we hope that as many of you that watch our show, can join us as possible. It's going to be a really fun event. All of the events that we're talking about.
Yeah, so we'll be one in person and one online event. We're also doing, packaging gift cards for Dad with a private buying appointment with Sean. So if you buy a gift card for somebody that wants koi that is not, local to where we are, they would set up a personal koi shopper. Sean would work with them to pick the fish of their dreams. And then, of course, we would ship it out. So I'd love your thoughts on these ideas. Hopefully we're getting some good comments on them, but I can't see the comments.
Thank you, Matthew. Matthew said you're never losing the name Big Daddy. My wife's name in her phone does say Big Daddy. Actually, it does come up as Big Daddy.
I think Mike calls you that too, has called you that.
Mike V?
Yeah,
Really?
yes. That's how I heard
I
it.
know Michael doesn't call me that.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Well, it's much more appropriate for Robin.
Yes, it is. Well, cool. All great things. I'm excited. We're really trying to step things up here at Koi Market, and we're excited to do all these events. And I think the idea moving forwards is that we do a lot more of these really cool customer events where we can have more people here that can see everything we're doing.
Yeah.
It's,
Is anybody on the show for the first time?
let me see how many people we have right now. Right now we have 15 people on.
Okay.
If you are on, we always love for you guys to let us know who you are, and let us know. We'd love to know where you're from. We do get people watching the show from all over the world, and it's pretty cool. We've had people watching from all the way from Australia. We've actually had one of our customers who was on a trip to Australia buy fish during the live while he was in Australia, which is kind of cool. But it's nice to see that we have people from all over the world on the show. And okay, just put it under the register, I guess. But yes, I'm excited to do those things. There are some things I wanted to talk about today. But before I do that, I would say to all of you, please like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you guys are aware of everything that we're doing when we do them. So thank you very much. I wanted to talk about, I think a lot of things that we talk about, they're generally contextual. It's the time of year to talk about X, and that's when we talk about it. Or it's time of the year to talk about aquatic plants or aeration, filtration. Today we're going to talk about UV lights. So I have a UV light that's up here on the desk. Bonnie, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have a UV light here, and this has actually been our go-to UV light for many years. I love how you can just switch cameras like that, Chad. That's awesome. So you can switch. I'm over there, then I'm over here. Now I'm looking forwards. There's another one over to the left. We have a lot of cameras going right now. So we wanted to talk about UVs, and in all the builds I've done in the past, and something that we sell in the store all the time is UVs. And a UV light can be used for two different things. It can be used as a clarifier or a sterilizer. When it's used as a clarifier, it's basically attacking single cell floating algae. And contrary to what most people believe, that it actually kills the single cell algae, what has been explained to me is that the UV light actually changes the molecules in the algae and makes it sticky, and it then clumps together when it passes by the UV light, and then it can be pulled out by your filter. When it's a single cell algae is by itself, it's too small to be captured by the filter, but as it gets sticky and clumps up, it can then be caught by the filter and then pulled out. Now, a UV light, and this is another thing that we get a lot of conversations about or questions about, is like, oh, why is everything in my pond is green? Well, a UV light will only affect the single cell floating algae. It will not affect anything else in the pond. So if you have algae all over your pond, all over the stone, all over the liner walls, your UV will do nothing for that. It will not affect that in any way. They'll only affect the UV that passes by the UV light. So in this example, so what I have here, Griffin, there is a thing of, there's a little bucket of dielectric grease. It says Super Lube on it down there. It's open underneath it to your right. No, it's under the desk. It's like it's an open thing. No, it says Super Lube on it. I think it's closer to the register area. Super Lube? L-U-B-E, lube. All right. While they're looking for that, I wanted to talk about this. So this is your housing for your UV light, okay? That's the stuff right there. This is a quartz sleeve, okay? And this quartz sleeve allows the light to basically shine and affect the algae without getting the bulb wet. So this is basically protection for the bulb and for the ballast. So in this case here, let's put this down there. In this case here, the quartz sleeve is going to go in here. I don't know if my buddy can get in closer over to where my hand is right here. I'm just going to put this quartz sleeve in. And I'm going to show you how we put this together here. Okay. So on one side, I have an O-ring. Can you guys see this? I'm going to turn that to the camera a little bit more so you can see it. So there's an O-ring, and every quartz sleeve on every type of UV has something like this. And see, the way this works, this O-ring will get compressed and it'll squeeze against the quartz sleeve, and then it'll prevent any water from getting past that quartz sleeve. All right, so in this case, this is the ring that I have. I screw this on like this. Give it some turns. You basically want to hand tighten this. You do not want to use a wrench on this. The other side actually has a similar one. That's just going to close that off there. Okay, so when I compress this nut down, it compresses against the quartz sleeve and it creates a seal around the quartz sleeve. So now when I put the water in, and the water can go on either this side or this side, when you put the water in, it's going to come through and it won't come out of here. Okay, because that O-ring is now sealed around it. So that's all nice and tight. Here's the bulb. Okay, you can see this. I don't know which camera I'm looking at right now, but so here's the bulb, and this is a 4-prong bulb. And contrary to what a lot of people may think, although it's a 4-prong, it's actually in a rectangle shape. It's not in a square shape, so it only goes in one way. Now, what I like to do, and you guys should do this on all of your UVs, I take this is a dielectric grease, okay? I take some dielectric grease, and I put that grease on the prongs, just like that. And we do that because the dielectric grease will actually prevent the water from causing any issues with the connection. So I just put that on just like that. See that? I take the quartz sleeve and try not to touch the bulb, okay? Super important not to touch the bulb. You want to make sure you put this in as straight as possible. So I'm going to slide this in like so. Now, the dielectric grease will keep moisture out of that area. So you're going to hold on, and in this case, I'm going to hold on to this here, and I'm going to squeeze that on there. It takes a little bit of doing. You got to make sure that you don't move anything around at the same time. It goes on nice and tight. And that's in, that's done, and then you bring this around and you close it up. Now, this is very specific to this type of UV. But what's not specific is the use of the dielectric grease. I would advise that everyone uses that dielectric grease on the prongs of your bulb. And now you can turn that UV on. So now, when is the right time to have the UV on, and when is it the right time to have it off? If you're starting off your pond for the start of the season, the UV light can't tell the difference between good bacteria and bad bacteria. And it will actually, it won't prevent your pond from colonizing, but it may take your Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter bacteria a longer time to start up if you leave the UV on when you first clean out the pond. So generally when we do a clean out, we like to try and keep the UV off for the first couple of weeks. Now, that will make the pond turn green. It's really what you can bear as far as like how far you're willing to let the pond go and turn green before you turn it on. Now, the green water is not going to affect the fish at all. The fish are perfectly fine with it. In fact, they probably would prefer it. They'd rather not be seen. It's really us that wants the crystal clear water. Remember, you know, if a pond is crystal clear, if you can see the fish nice and easy, then everything that's flying around and swimming and walking around can also see it. So there are positives and negatives to having a crystal clear pond. But we prefer to keep the UV off for the first couple of weeks. So if you can keep it off for a couple of weeks when you first start out the pond, it'll give the pond that head start that it needs to colonize with the Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter bacteria, which will remove the ammonium nitrite. It does take longer for the pond to colonize if you turn the UV on too early. And then once you turn it on, you're going to notice a difference within within 4 or 5 days, you're going to see that pond start to clear up. And it's literally a night and day difference. You're going to go from a pond that's kind of or very murky or very green to a pond that's literally crystal clear. And then the only other solids that are going to be floating around the pond are solids that are leaves and debris that may not be getting pulled out by your mechanical. But the UV light works phenomenally well. I am a huge proponent of using a UV light if you want to get that crystal clear pond. If you don't want to get a crystal clear pond, then not having a UV will be much more difficult. Your pond will cycle, and you'll go through various cycles throughout a season. So sorry, someone's making a comment there. I purchased the Green Reset 100 a year ago. I have never taken a unit apart to that degree. That just showed, is there already that grease in the unit when you first buy it? So Brian, you should be changing the bulbs every season. You can certainly put that dielectric grease on there. Like I said, I would always advise using the dielectric grease. It's not that if you don't use it, you'll have a problem. I'm using it in the case of, just ensuring that, any moisture that may get into that area of the bulb doesn't affect the bulb and doesn't affect the ballast. It's just it's just added protection, really. But you should be changing the bulb once a year. So that's actually good. I'm glad you brought that up. When should you be changing your bulb? The average UV bulb lasts about 9,000 hours. 9,000 hours equates to about, it equates to about a year and a half. But it's just easier when you start out your pond every season to just change the bulbs. It's not like the bulb it's not gonna explode. The bulb loses its potency after a period of time. So after about 9,000 hours, the bulb loses strength, and therefore you're not going to see the effects that it had when it was running at full power. And therefore, it just makes it easier when you're cleaning out your pond, you're getting your pond ready for the season, you just change your bulbs at the same time. Any other questions regarding UVs? Please let me know. Just checking the screen here to see, you want to flip that camera over to this one. There we go. So I'm just checking the screen here. Texas, thank you, Matthew. So I want to say hello to Matthew again. Matthew actually came out here from Texas. He had a great visit here at Coin Market, and it was a really fun time. We had a nice lunch, and he picked some amazing fish. And the unfortunate thing is Matthew had just found out that they originally thought that they had a bobcat, and now they have an otter that's been attacking everything in their pond. So they're trying to figure out how to deal with that situation right now. So Michael is saying, it's string algae season. I battle it each year. I know it's marginally my fault. I am heavy feeder. I don't have plants. My quite treats plants as a first course and destroys them. Barley extract doesn't work for me. So, I mean, there are products you can use. Barley extract is one of those products. Having plants in the pond definitely really helps. I mean, Michael, you may be able to, just knowing your pond, you may be able to put a whole bunch of hyacinth into your waterfall area, literally on the steps of your waterfall, and let them just grow there and see how that works. I do think that you actually have some areas in between the stones that you could plant some marginal plants that could potentially help as well. But I know that your fish are huge, and they're probably going to eat up anything that you're going to put in the ponds. This is the time, as I was talking to you about before, where colonizing the pond has been a bit more difficult because of the weather. And if you're overfeeding your fish, you are definitely making the entire scenario a more difficult situation to handle. So I would advise slowing down on the feeding. Try and cut it down to, especially now, like I said, with the cold, cut it back down to once a day. For now, you got to wait for the weather to pick up. You need to wait for your water to be in the 70s to really start feeding multiple times a day. Yeah, I hope that helps you a little bit. adding beneficial bacteria will definitely help. Beneficial bacteria will help break down the organics in the pond that are basically the food source for the algae to grow. So that will also help. Our regimen normally would be beneficial bacteria, keeping your KH up. So you're using a KH stabilizer, using a we like to use a phosphate binder, and that will actually help to bind the food source as well. It'll basically starve out the algae by binding the food source. So a phosphate binder, we use Clarity Max. That works really well. And we do like to use barley extract. I mean, barley in general, back in the day, they used barley bales, and I think they're still available. Barley is, as it breaks down, it turns into a natural peroxide, which can kill the algae. Works pretty well. I find that it takes a really long time, so using the barley extract works much better. And I would advise using that instead of using the barley. Sorry for all those retailers that have tons of barley sitting on their shelves, but I'm not a huge fan of using barley straw. It just takes forever. What else? Any other questions? More frequent water changes help. I am in Florida. Yeah, Michael Smith, thank you. So guys, water changes are very important. So we do literally 10% water change once a week, 20% every 2 weeks, religiously with our customers for our maintenance programs. And there's a reason for this. You're removing excess nutrients from the water. You're removing excess hormones from the water. It's helping to remove, it's actually helping in a lot of ways. If you have ammonia spikes, if you have nitrite spikes, doing a water change will help. If you have high pH, it can also help. There's a lot of things that water changes help with. You know, as a retailer here, we have drip lines running all the time. I think that it's a very important part of the process of having a pond is also doing water changes. So thank you for bringing that up, Michael. Any other comments there? I see there was one that came up. PR 10,000 is a great PR. I don't know what PR 10,000 is, Jeremy. I'm not sure what that product is. You ever heard of PR 10,000, Michael? Michael's way in the back doing his thing. He can't hear me, so I'll have to look into PR 10,000s. But thanks for the tip. Any other comments? No? All right, so what we're going to do is, since we're having some technical issues and not going so well, moving away from this spot, and we need to work on that as we seem to always have technical issues, we're going to go work on that. And I think if you guys don't have any other questions, I think that'll be it for today's show. You guys have any other questions? Anything you wanted to discuss? Let me know. I hope you liked what you saw today. You got to check out the new set. We do have a couple of things that we're adding on here. We do have an idea for either the left side here or the right side over here. We get a lot of customers that do koi art. We have 4 customers right now that are either painting beautiful works of art with koi or doing specialty photographs. So we thought we would make limited run displays for their artwork on these walls while you got to see it behind us while we were working. So could be kind of cool. Some add-ins for ponds say first 3 doses UV off and every week is okay. Why is this? I can't spell the name. Pseudo as treatments. So a bunch of those products that you're adding in do have bacterias in them. And those bacteria, when you're having the UV light on, will definitely be a problem because with the UV, so the UV will affect the way that product works. So turning the UV off is important. So good question. So you have on our, it's a concentrated, concentrated PO4 remover. Okay, it's something, Jeremy, I'm going to take a look into it. PR 10,000. Michael, have you ever heard of that? PR 10,000? For algae control? Like a phosphate binder? Okay. We'll definitely take a look at that. Cool. All right. So with that, I just wanted to say, guys, thank you for joining us. I want you to enjoy your weekends. Hopefully it's not going to be raining like it's going to be raining here. I can see the storm coming in. The wind is really picking up. I can see water flying sideways off of the water features outside. So the wind is really starting to pick up. And hopefully it's not going to be too bad of a storm, but it is going to rain. We're supposed to get 1.5 to 2 inches of rain by tonight. So it's going to be pretty nasty out. I wanted to thank you guys for joining us. This is episode 163. I'm Sean, the Koi Guy, and this is Let's Talk Koi, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.